Hi, my awesome second graders. It's Thursday. So this is lesson 4 of your reading for this week. We're reading A Bad Case of Stripes this week. That has been our main focus book. Hopefully you've really enjoyed that book and you got a lot out of it. We've learned about summarizing. We've done some fiction and nonfiction passages that go along with that. We've learned main character. And we've learned adjectives. I have to stop and think of all the great things we've already done so far. So we've done a lot of work with A Bad Case of Stripes. So now we're going to do kind of a companion book that goes along with that. And this is a nonfiction book. What does nonfiction mean, guys? That's right. It means it's a true story. So nonfiction is an informational type of reading. So you'll read it for information. That means you're reading it to learn something. Okay. So we are going to read a nonfiction passage today, and it's called Germs, Germs, Go Away. And it's a companion story to A Bad Case of Stripes because she didn't really have germs, germs go away that she wanted to go away, but she did have something that she wanted to go away. So this story is kind of a companion text to that. But I think it is perfectly timed for us here in America, especially around here, because we are having some germs that we really want to go away too. We want those COVID germs to go away so we can come back to school. Okay, I can't wait for you guys to actually be in the classroom with me every day. So we're going to read this. It's an informational text about germs and what we can do to stay healthy. I think it actually gives great tips for us right now that we should all be using to go along with, how we can help ourselves stay healthy right now as well. So I'm going to switch over to my document camera. See you in a sec.
And we're back. Here's our title page. Germs, germs, go away. And you see this little boy. Looks like he might be the one who's a little bit sick. Looking at the illustration, what predictions can you make about why he might be sick or how you know that he is sick? Make some observations there. What makes you think he might be the one that's sick in our story? Yeah, I see the thermometer sticking out of his mouth, so I think that's a big clue that he might be the one that might be sick. All right, next page. This page is called the Table of Contents. In nonfiction text, you often have something called a table of contents. You might also have this in fiction stories if it's like an anthology with a lot of different stories put together. Or if you have a chapter book that has a lot of different chapters, you might have a table of contents that tells you the name of each chapter. And that's what's happening here in this table of contents for this nonfiction story. It actually has 6 different chapters. Now for us, these are very short chapters. Usually chapters are kind of long, but in the story we're reading together, they're only a page or 2 long for us. So we have chapter 1 is called Staying Healthy. Chapter 2, what is your TZone? Do you guys know what a TZone is? Oh, good, you're going to learn something then. Okay, it's always nice in an informational passage to learn some new information. Chapter 3, wash those hands. Chapter 4, time for a checkup. Where do we go for checkups? Yeah, that's probably when he's going to the doctor. Chapter 5, spread no more. What is it he doesn't want to spread anymore? Yeah, I think that's probably talking about the germs. And chapter 6, cover your cough. Very good advice. Okay. So we'll start with chapter 1, staying healthy. I first noticed this illustration. Whenever you have any fiction or nonfiction text, always pay attention to the illustrations. They often give you good information or good clues about what's going on in the story. So I see this boy, he's coughing into his elbow. We don't want, whenever we cough or we sneeze, we don't want to just leave it uncovered because that spreads the germs everywhere. So that is great advice. Cough into your elbow, not into your hands, because we touch a lot of stuff with our hands, right? But I don't touch very much stuff with the inside of my elbow. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you, and there will be some work that goes along with this as well, okay? Have you ever had a fever, sore throat, or stuffy nose? Many people catch a cold or the flu from germs that are spread from person to person. Staying healthy can be tricky, but there are steps you can follow to help stop the spread of illness. For example, it is important to cover your nose when sneezing. If you don't have a tissue, sneeze into your arm so that your germs do not get on people nearby. Nobody wants to be sneezed on. Okay, so in staying healthy, if I wanted to summarize just this chapter, I would summarize it by saying, staying healthy can be hard, but if I follow certain tricks, that I can stop the spread of germs, like coughing and sneezing into my elbow. Okay, just a very quick little summary for that chapter. Cough and sneeze into your elbow. Chapter 2, what is your T-zone? No, this isn't something related to baseball or T-ball. What is your T-zone? Your T-zone is a large area on your face that's near your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. So do you see this? If I were to look here, if I did ears, eyes, I went across, nose, and mouth, see what letter that makes? Makes a capital T. So that's why it's called your T-zone. That's the way all the germs get into your body. You've got openings in your ears and your eyes and your nose and your mouth, and germs get into your body that way. So your T-zone, a large area on your face near your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. Many illnesses enter our bodies through our T-zone. This is especially true for kids because they tend to put their fingers in their mouths or even your noses, or you rub your eyes a lot. Make sure to never touch your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth with dirty hands or germy hands, okay? So a quick summary of this chapter about the T-zone. Keep your hands away from your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth, which makes up your T-zone. So if you just didn't touch your face in those areas, then germs wouldn't really have a chance to get into your body that way. Now, sometimes they can still get in if you have like a cut in your skin or something like that. So don't touch that either. But the majority of germs get into your body from your T-zone. Chapter 3, wash those hands. Always good advice, but especially right now. Washing hands is the easiest way to keep yourself and other people around you healthy. Most people either do not wash their hands often or do not wash them well. Proper hand washing can stop the spread of germs. Here are some steps to follow. So it's not just about washing your hands every once in a while. You have to do it often, and you have to do it the right way. Okay, let's find out what the right way is. Step 1, wet your hands with water. So get them wet first. This doesn't mean you're done. Sometimes I have kids get their hands wet and then they turn the water off and think they're done. You didn't really get your hands clean, you just got your hands wet. Okay. Number 2, rub the soap in your hands for 20 seconds. So you're going to do scrub and rub. Okay. You want to get between your fingers. You want to get the tops of your hands, the bottoms of your hands for 20 seconds. You can count slowly to 20. You can sing the ABC song. You can sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star 2 times. Whatever you need to help you know to go for 20 seconds. This and rinse is not washing your hands, okay? You didn't scrub enough to get those germs off. Step 4, use a paper towel to turn off the faucet. Wonder why they advise us to do that. Thinking? Yeah, because if I turn off the faucet with my hand, what's on the faucet? Exactly, it's germs. When I turned on the faucet with my dirty hand, I don't want to turn off the faucet with my clean hand because now it's going to be dirty again. So they advise us to get a paper towel, if you can, to turn the water faucet off, okay? Step 5, dry your hands with a clean paper towel, not with your clothing, okay? Always a clean paper towel or hand dryers if that's what's around as well. But you don't want to use your clothes to dry your hand. I know sometimes those hand dryers don't do a great job, so we try to pat them dry in our clothes. Just try to dry them longer with the hand dryer. Number 6, you can also use that paper towel to open the door before throwing it away. Again, think about, why do you not want to touch the door handle? That's right. People who didn't wash their hands touched that same door handle. Gross. Now you spent all that good time washing your hands and getting them clean, and then you just touched something dirty before you even made it out of the bathroom. So if I have on long sleeves, if I don't have a paper towel, I kind of pull my long sleeve down over my hand and use that. Sometimes doors have something at the bottom of them where I can open it with my foot instead of having to use my hand. So you can look around for those things too. So if I were to summarize this chapter, washing your hands, I would summarize it by saying, always wash my hands often and do a good job with washing my hands, okay? Chapter 4, time for a checkup. That makes me think of Doc McStuffins. Is that show even still on? But that was part of one of the songs that they would sing. Makes me think of that. Oftentimes we go to the doctor when we are not feeling well, but it is also important that we go for a yearly checkup when we are well too. Your doctor will monitor your growth, give you shots, and complete an exam. They may take your temperature, measure your height and weight, and check your blood pressure. So a summary for this is, you don't only go to the doctor when you're sick, you also usually get a yearly checkup even when you're feeling well, just to make sure that you're growing correctly and that there aren't any big problems, and make sure you get all your shots if you need that too, okay? Time for a checkup. Chapter 5, spread no more. Take a look at that picture. Do you think they might be spreading some germs around? I know right now we would not be sitting that close to anyone, would we? Because we have to keep 6 feet apart right now so that we don't spread germs to people around us. Sometimes when one person in a classroom gets a cold, other students catch it too. And that goes for any kind of germs we've got floating around. This is because we sit close together, share materials, and are around each other most of the day. If you are sick, it is important to stay at home and rest rather than spread the germs to others around you. If you have a fever, it is important that you are fever-free for 24 hours before going back to school too. And that means fever-free with no medicine, okay? If you're taking medicine to keep your fever down, that doesn't really count as being fever-free. And this is important right now as we deal with all these COVID germs, because when we do make it back to school, we'll actually be taking your temperature as you come into the building. We'll be keeping you spread apart so that we have spread no more. We don't want to spread our germs around and if you're feeling some symptoms or you're feeling bad or you have a fever, just stay home. It's better to go to the doctor and get checked out than to spread it to other people, okay? That was my summary, by the way. Chapter 6, cover your cough. We talked about this already, but it is so important that we want to discuss it again. Remember, I think we talked about it at chapter 1. Covering your cough with your hand can help prevent the spread of contagious illnesses, but it is also important to wash your hands after you cough. To be even more careful, cough into a tissue. This helps germs stay off of your hands and off of others. All right, I would not even recommend this picture right here, okay? I would not recommend you ever covering your cough or your sneeze with your hands. In this chapter, they said you can use your hand, but what did you have to do right after? Yeah, you had to wash your hands, at least sanitize your hands if you use them to cover your cough or to cover a sneeze. If you cover your cough or sneeze with your hand and then you don't wash your hands or sanitize your hands, then really you're still spreading your germs everywhere. It's kind of the same as if you never covered your cough or sneeze at all. So it's best to cover by coughing into your elbow. Everyone practice that right now. Put your elbow up. Tuck your face right in there. Yep, that's how you do it. But if you forgot and maybe you put your hand up there and you coughed into your hand, then you need to go straight away and find some sanitizer or go to the sink and wash your hands with soap. Okay? So summary of this, always cover your cough. I'm not going to say cough into your hand though, but if you do, use soap and water or some sanitizer. And that's the end of the story. This is going to be your work that will be uploaded to your Dojo student account. You're only going to have to do half of this page. It'll probably look like a full page because I don't want to cut my paper. but you only do the top section, okay? And it says germs. What did you learn about staying healthy? So after you've listened to this story, I want you to think of 3 things. How many things? 3 things. 3 things that you learned from germs, germs, go away. And you're going to write 3 good sentences, nice detailed sentences, good second grade sentences about what you learned, okay? Let me give you an example of a second grade sentence and not a second grade sentence, okay? Let's start with, how about I learned, let me think of something in the text. Don't give germs to others. Now listen to this sentence. I can stop the spread of germs by always covering my cough with my elbow. Which one do you think is a good second grade sentence? The first one, don't give germs to others. Or the second one, I learned to not spread germs to others by always coughing into my elbow. Yeah, the second one is a second grade sentence. Second grade sentences are usually longer because they have more details. Okay, I use adjectives, or I describe things a lot more in detail. I give extra information, okay? So second grade sentences, you got to start making them longer and better so that you're really getting good at writing. So you're going to think of 3 things from that text that you learned, and this will be on your Class Dojo student account. So you'll just open up your text box and type in 3 good second grade sentences. All right, kiddos. I will see you tomorrow on Friday live at 10:15 on Zoom for our live reading lesson that we're going to do with all of second grade all together. So at 10:15, actually I would recommend doing it maybe like 5 minutes early. Go ahead and log in to zoom.us. On your to-do list, there is a meeting ID and a password. So whenever you get to zoom.us, you'll just click on join a meeting. It'll ask you for the ID number and it'll ask you for the password. So you put that in. And then when I see you waiting in my waiting room, I will let you in and we will start our meeting on time right at 10:15. For Friday's live meeting, please bring a few things with you. You're going to need a piece of paper, you're going to need a pencil, and you're going to need some crayons, okay? So paper, pencil, crayons. Make sure you bring all of those items with you to our live reading meeting, okay? And I can't wait to see your faces tomorrow. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.